Hey there. So we're going to do another one of these readings. Even though, like I said in the last one, I normally would say if someone had something to say to me, that it's none of my business if they're not actually saying it, right? But I found that this could actually be a very healing, helpful thing, especially in a world where there's so many reasons to lack confidence. I mean, let's face it, the punishment and reward parenting paradigm, followed by the corporal punishment parenting paradigm. I mean, we've got a lot of people walking around lacking the amount of self-esteem and self-confidence that they really do deserve. So it makes sense to do these readings if they're helpful in that way. So let's do this. We're going to actually deal out some cards from this tarot deck, the Light Seers Tarot. I really like this deck. I like this version because I can hold it in my hand. I prefer that. So pick one is going to be that Queen of Wands. And come on, camera, you can come into focus, can't you? I've got my sweatshirt on inside out. Oh well. I just wear this sweatshirt when I get home and it's chilly. So if you've seen me wear this sweatshirt a lot lately in videos, that's why. I hope that you see right through my walls. I hope that you catch me, 'cause I'm already falling. I don't know why, but that song was just popping in my head. Alright, we'll do 3. Pick 2 is the Magician, and pick 3 is the Knight of Pentacles. Come on, camera, I know that you can come into focus. It wants to focus on the crystals up above instead. Or my hand, but not this. Come on, this. Do it, do it. Oh, I'm using the wrong side of my board, too. Here. The side of my board I often eat on. I don't know what that is, but it could be something like that. A grease stain or something. That's all right. Inside out sweatshirts and grease stains on my board. And I still hold myself in high regard. I don't have to be perfect. Okay. Let's take some of these. I've got 2 decks to work with. We're going to start with pick 1, which might be opposite on your screen. So just go with it. Pick 1. Pick 1. What would they say? So this is what would they say if you talked to them? What would they say if you had the conversation you have in mind? What would they say if they saw you? Anything like that. I hope that you see right through my walls. So if they felt defensive, if they seemed like closed off to you, they might hope that you could see through that that was just an insecurity, which is interesting since I started this reading by talking about insecurity. I hope that you see right through my walls. I hope that you catch me, 'cause I'm already falling. That is my water pump going off, and so the water pump is significant, right, because water is emotions, and now we've got the pump. So I think it would be an emotional kind of thing, but I think that this person would be holding it back behind a wall. Like if you saw each other, I think there would be an emotional wave of some sort, right? Some pressure on the emotional body. So I'm sorry I lied. I know the truth. I have learned a lot. So this is interesting because the nature of an apology is really that we want to know that the person, first of all, cares about how we felt when whatever happened, and that they have decided that they would operate in a different manner, right? Because we need to know if it's worth continuing to have further interactions with this person. So the way that the way that we decide that is to know whether or not they've decided to act different next time, you know? And it kind of seems like that's what this person is saying. Like they want to act right, I guess. Right? They've kind of learned they have a bigger picture view now. I'm going to get something from the other deck as well. I know you can see some of these, so if those are significant to you, then you can take them, but I'm not going to take them out of the bag for the reading. I'm just going to use this other deck. I hope that you catch me because I'm already falling. Yeah, it's like butterflies when this person sees you. Let's create a new story. So they want a fresh start. Something happened. They were the cause of it, or they feel like something that they did, they lied about, caused something, and they've learned about that which they would prefer. Oh, this person has some feels for you. Can I keep you? And then we've got power. So when I look at that power, it's like electricity. And then the other thing I think is like what we put our focus on, we get more of. So like even if you kind of like saw each other, had a brief interaction, and then walked away, I feel like that would have sparked something in this person to really like, oh, but this is third-party situation. See, there's like two people here, and then there's someone else. So that could have been what they lied about. They could have had to make a tough decision, and they figured out the truth of how they felt, and that even though they were with another person or chose someone else over you, that they learned a lot. They learned what they needed to learn. They'd like to create a new story now. Okay? So, I mean, if you're interested in what this person has to say, even though they lied, even though they may have chosen someone else, even though they may have had you in a third-party situation, if you're still open to hearing what they say, maybe perhaps this is good news for you, right? But let's ask Spirit. What does Spirit think about this situation? You know, we might as well ask, since we're right here. We have it at the tip of our fingers. Spirit, what would you say about the prospect of creating a new story with this person? Patience is a virtue. And I want to say with that, it's like maybe it is like a short interaction and then a walk away and then it has sparked something, right? It could be that patience falls into it in that way. Or it could be also that coming together with this person would require more learning. So that's a process that requires patience, right? And creating something new, it's like, if you're not creating what you already know, you're stepping into new territory that requires a lot of courage and bravery and just this like pioneer, this willingness to pioneer into new places. So it's like a take your time kind of thing as you venture into this. Let me see if there's one more. I'm shaking the whole table as I do this. Whoops. Whoops. Set your intentions. Okay, so when we're building a new story, the intentions are it's like one of the ingredients that you use to make that recipe. So what is the intention for this new story? Like, is it maybe to like live in this way where there's more loyalty or more openness or more honesty? Like, can I keep you? To me, I deal in a lot of like concepts of making sure things are fair, and all this is a nice little novelty, cute thing to say, and in actuality, like, nobody can keep you, right? Like you're not anyone's slave, you're not anyone's property. But if it's more like, can I keep you by my side because I like having you there, that's kind of nice, right? But if it's, can I keep you on the back burner because I'm in a relationship right now, not so nice, right? So what are the intentions? Those have to play in here. Find out. Like, if you don't know the other person's intentions, you want to find that out too. What is this new story about? Is it a polygamous story? And are you sure you want to be a part of that? And things like that, It's probably different for different people, but this is what the advice is from Spirit. I'm just going to split the deck to see if there's anything else. Know your truth, right? So, like, what are you looking for out of this? And then what is the other person looking for? And does it go together? Don't relinquish your power. So we had power here. And keeping somebody can be a power struggle as well, right? When you won't let go. Have you ever been in a relationship that was just hard to get out of? Like, that's not very pleasant, Having a clingy, needy, desperate person on your hands, who's very, immature, that's like a problem. So this is on the bottom of the deck was don't relinquish your power. And so it just means like, don't just hand over the intentions, the story, and everything to this person just because you kind of like them. Or just because whatever they have appeals to you, which I think is a drive and a passion and a confidence. I think they probably have confidence, or they fake it a lot better than most. Okay, all right, pick one. Remember, this is just information to reflect on. So only take what you feel is helpful to you and leave the rest. Okay, we're going to move on to pick number 2. But I'm not even going to pause the video. I'm just going to do this. Just going to do this. Alright, pick 2, the Magician. I like the Magician because I am a big fan of Hermes, and the Magician reminds me of Hermes. The Alchemist, right? And I feel like the Magician also embodies this like playful child energy as well. Like such a wise being, able to alchemize, but also able to be childlike, able to be in that energy of creation and curiosity. So it's just such a powerful place to be. And I can kind of see, if you look at this card, it looks like it could have been the infinity symbol here, right? Nice. Okay. So what would this person say? Oh, let me just glance at my messenger. I could hear it ding in the first one. Okay. What would this person say? I want to marry you. Whoa. I mean, I just kind of feel like you should already be talking to this person if that's the stage they're at. Unless it's a fantasy, right? I want to help you. Okay, so there's a red flag in my opinion, because, it's not bad to be helped or anything, but like, as soon as someone wants to be in the rescuer role, for me, that's a red flag. I think because in my life, I've seen that drama triangle play out firsthand. I was part of it. And it's not fun, and it indicates a great deal of narcissism and codependency in relationships. So make sure that's not the case here, right? If you're also helping yourself and then someone comes alongside you to help you, that's okay. But like, if they're putting themselves in the rescuer role, which means you have to be in the victim role, that's not so great, right? So just a heads up on that. Look into the drama triangle if that has alerted you to anything. I have no regrets. If you are already married to this person, I would say that. Like, they have no regrets about that. I have learned a lot. If this is the person's way to, like, court you, this is a bit of arrogance, I think, and some people don't realize the drama triangle is in existence, and what it takes is a victim, a rescuer, and a persecutor. And when those three are present, there's an imbalanced way of relating. It's a power struggle. It's the grounds for power struggles. And that's not very healthy. It's not fun to be in, ever. We really do want to be sovereign beings who take care of ourselves, who consider our own best interest, and therefore automatically consider others. But we have to fill our own cup first. We have to be in the equation. And so as long as we're helping ourselves, it's okay to have outside help. Someone jumping in to want to marry you, my goodness, I'm sure you know, if you're already like in a dating stage with this person and they haven't told you this, right? Maybe this is just you getting a glimpse into it, but like, if you're not talking to this person and stuff, that's kind of a weird way to go at it, right? Like say if I had an ex that came back to me and he said, I want to marry you, I would be like throwing the red flags on the field because I once told my ex, this is back when I was still full on in codependency, I said the only way that I said, so we had been broken up for a bit and he came back after a while and we talked and he's like, I was prepared for you to not take me back. I was like, you could have got me back at any time. All you had to do was say you wanted to marry me. And so I told him that, right? Like, so if he ever came back and said, I want to marry you, I'd be like, red flag. I know that I told you that was your in. So I don't know why I'm sharing that story, but I just want to say, just, yeah. You must know if you've been dealing with this person. So, it's nice that they have no regrets, but no regrets about what? What did they do? I believe that we should all go through life with no regrets because we do learn things from our mistakes. So it's not a bad thing to do. It doesn't necessarily have to be arrogant. So you'd have to take the character of the person into consideration in this case for sure. I'm going to get some from the other deck, but I just want to get the tone from Spirit from this deck first. Take responsibility for your actions. So, like, Whatever you decide to do about this person, it's your choice and you're going to be learning something from it, you know? Like, it's not a fairy tale just because they come in and want to marry you. You know what I mean? That's what I kind of feel like saying. Alright, this card fell. Let's see. Focus on the positive. Okay. So there's hope here. You know, maybe this is a person where if you said, hey, I think we should wait on marriage. Hey, I think that's jumping ahead. Or, hey, I don't really want to be helped necessarily. You know, if you said that to this person, maybe this is a person who would listen. I feel like if you were talking to this person, if you were in the dating phase, like, I don't know, I just feel like coming to a reading like this doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Clean up. So if there are unsaid things and unanswered questions, it's like clean up the misunderstandings between you. Have these difficult conversations, right? Some of these are very difficult conversations, but if you know that this person feels this way about you, I think it might be time to have those difficult conversations. Take the responsibility into your own hands to go there. Now, one thing I want to note when we have difficult conversations is using I statements is important. Trying to be careful not to invalidate the other person. Let them know you care about how they feel before you start asserting worries or fears. You know? Allow the positive into the conversation so that you're not just going at someone as a nag or as a complainer, as a person who's just lost in worry. It's like if you have honest concerns, let's clean up all those the kind of loose ends and misunderstandings. Not because you're insecure and unsure and you need some clarity, but because it's your responsibility as an adult to have the difficult conversations that bring two people into alignment and unity. And this person is open to learning, so and if you were having difficulty taking responsibility for having these difficult conversations, they say they want to help you. That's something they can help you with, right? They can be the gentle place for you to practice this. And you could even say it. Sometimes it's easier if you start with letting someone know, I feel really insecure about having this conversation. I'm not sure why, but here, I have to say some things that are hard for me to say, or I'm wondering about these things and I'm scared that I'm going to say the wrong thing. Now, ultimately, these probably stem from childhood wounding patterns that are now coming up now that you're in a relationship with somebody, and it's like important to have these conversations. You're finding the blocks within yourself that haven't allowed it for you yet. So it's actually a beautiful gift that this person is giving you and an opportunity. So even though I was kind of leaning towards the side where there were red flags, in how this person was presenting, I think that it might actually be relevant to you because you also might have felt like it tripped off some red flags for you. And what this is kind of saying is, look, actually all it did was show you where your boo-boos still lie. This is actually a person that can show you that and help you transform. So you can take this opportunity. Like, this is actually a soulmate of yours that came to kind of present the opportunity for you to notice where you still feel insecure or wounded, including being suspicious of them and not being able to focus on the positive, right? And then alchemize those things. So that means acknowledge, validate within yourself, accept that it's there, and love the part of you who feels whatever you feel. Fear, insecurity, worry, doubt. Okay? Even a lack of confidence that you could have an effective communication with this person that you love. Like maybe somewhere earlier on it was risky to have kind of conversations where you actually asserted your needs or asked questions, because in dysfunctional relating that a lot of us have grown up in, that didn't happen. And so this is a beautiful opportunity for you to learn what you need to and clean up any of the old debris of how things were for you growing up. That's really beautiful. It makes sense if this person has learned a lot, then they've been on their own journey, right? They have no regrets because they learned so much from what they went through. They made their mistakes too. They felt their fears too. They had to be present with uncomfortable feelings too. And because they were, now when they present to you, it kind of shines a light on all the places in you that are yet to be healed. So that's really nice. And therefore, they don't have to be in the drama triangle to help you. They help you just by being, which is such a magician thing to do, right? And I feel like this "I want to marry you" is here so that you feel at least that much security. This person is that invested in you that they would take the time on this. They really value what they learned, and so they'll value it for you and your process too. I don't think this is a person who's going to take it personal or anything, you know? Wow, really nice. Okay, pick 2. That's your reading. Remember, it's just information to reflect on, so only take what's helpful to you and leave the rest. Thank you for participating. Pick 3. You chose the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, what would they say? What would this person say? They might be fearful of speaking, not know what to say. You might render them speechless. They might be busy. They might not want to speak. Let's see what else if we actually got them to say a thing. They'd say, "I know the truth." Interesting that there's a lot in here, right? Well, sometimes throughout the readings, the same ones come through. So that's come out in another reading. Maybe later. So maybe they're just busy, right? Like they see this person, he's on a mission here. He's walking towards his destination. Let's explore together. I think this is more of an action-oriented person that maybe doesn't want to talk. It could be, I wanted to say it could be because based on the conversations you've already had, they just don't know if it would be fruitful. I am thankful for the time we had, it says. Okay. So I don't know exactly what maybe later is about yet. I think I'm going to ask, though, okay? Tell us what maybe later is about. Maybe you already know, but I'm going to ask because I'm curious. That's my water pump going off. So there may be something with water or emotions. We got the Hermit in reverse. Yeah, this person's kind of on a mission, right? Like, they're kind of like, come with me while we explore, but like I kind of can't stay put at the moment because I'm doing something. Okay, that's the sense I get. What would this person say? You are my favorite. This card is about fresh fruit flavors, sensuality, just kind of enjoying life, all the fruits of your labor. This is the Rainbow Bridge. So it's like what they're doing is very important to them. It is a higher standard that they're holding themselves to, and they're really serious about it. And it feels like they're trying to get somewhere. And it's not that they don't want you to come right here, because it says, let's explore together. And they're thankful for the time that you've had. But they're kind of trying to upgrade right here. And the truth might be that they're meant for something more, that they're meant to kind of have a higher standard and live in a higher way. And so they're working on that. Let's see what Spirit says for advice. So this is our Rainbow Bridge, and that means it's the bridge from a lower to a higher way of living. Possess self-confidence. So like, while this person is busy, perhaps even on a spiritual mission, they can't, they're like, let's explore together. Maybe later we can get into that deeper stuff, but like I'm actually doing something. So it's kind of like, they can't be stopping to caretake you, you know what I mean? Like emotionally, they kind of need you to be confident in yourself enough to like think of going along for the adventure. Abundance is your right. Like, know that, you know, this is something you're worthy of. This is something you're capable of. All of that stuff. Like, if you needed this person to reassure you, you know, every few steps or every few days, like, that's not going to work for them at this time. They really do need someone who's also willing to hold themselves to a higher standard. And maybe you do that, and maybe that's why they were inspired to do this too, right? Like, maybe they're like, okay, I got to get to the point where I can do this too, where I can possess self-confidence and know that abundance is my right, so that they can deal with you on the level that you both want to be on. So this looks really beautiful in whatever kind of relationship this is. Know your truth. Oh, and that's interesting because they said they know their truth. I know the truth. And so the advice for you is to know your truth too. And the truth might just be something like, what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are your values? What's important to you? You know, that's knowing yourself. So if you know this yourself, you know the truth of yourself. That's a truth to know, right? And that's an important one to know. And on the bottom of the deck is kindness counts. And that's so important, right? Because say this person is just feeling like, oh, I'm on this healing journey and I'm kind of just like plugging away at what I have to do. And say, you know, instead of saying to you, maybe later, let's explore together, instead of saying like, letting you know that they're on this thing and like, sure, you can come and you're important, but like, I can't like focus on you or us at this moment, right? Instead of letting you know that, what if they just like ghosted you or ignored you or like told you that they don't have time, they're busy, they have to focus on healing, and they didn't like care to be kind enough to let you know that they do like you, right? They did like the time that you had together, and they do want to explore with you, like, and you're their favorite, you know what I mean? Like, if they didn't take the time to share that with you, this could go in a lot worse direction, a lot more painful direction. So I think this person would say that you mean a lot to them, and they're actually trying to work hard to upgrade their life right now, either to match you or maybe you would like to match them as well. But they are wanting to be kind in doing this, right? Like, they know that they have to prioritize themselves and their own, filling their own cup right now. It's kind of basically it. So that's a good time for you to make sure you're doing that for yourself too. And maybe you have always been doing that for yourself. Maybe you're so glad that this person is doing this for themselves. And maybe this is a very exciting thing to hear. So remember, it's just information to reflect on. So only take what is helpful to you and leave the rest. Okay? Thank you for participating. We'll see you in the next one.